This is iPhone footage, and this is why it looks like RAW in DaVinci Resolve. Let's head to the scopes and check out how this video looks like when we use a waveform in the scopes. Okay, so let's pop these scopes out. A lot of people think this is a raw footage. It's not, but it's very close. This look comes from Apple log recorded in ProRes. It's a flat color profile designed for grading. And let's take this window off. Well, you could do that by hitting Shift Command W. And right here on the right side, we could still see our waveform. Like I mentioned, this is the raw footage from the iPhone. Keep an eye on the waveform. I could decide to push the highlight up. I could decide to push the gain up. If you look at the image, you can still see all the details. And I could also decide to push it all the way down. And if you look at the image, you could still see the details. It doesn't lose any detail. Okay, so this is one of the advantages of recording with raw footage or recording with the Apple log, which is not a raw footage, but it's very close to it. Okay, so this is one of the advantages. So let me reset this. We could actually use OneNote to turn flat iPhone footages into normal footage, okay, by using color space transform. Okay, so I'm going to disconnect this here, and I'm going to do that with OneNote. So I'm going to add a node, Option S for a shortcut. I don't like to work with the original node, so that way you can always delete it if you don't like what you did. But let's connect this to the output as well. This is the original flat iPhone footage. If you look at it, it does look flat. All right, so we could simply head to the effect, just type in color, and you're gonna see the color space transform here as one of the options. Just gonna drag it to that node. When you see the plus sign, you could release it. And now you have the options to put in the information that you need. And you do have a lot of options, but I'm going to show you the ones that work for me. So now we are going to head to the input color space. Okay, and we are going to use Rec 2020. And for the input gamma, we are going to use Reg 2100 HLG scene. And as you can see, the color comes to life. That's it. Then, of course, you could add other nodes to maybe reduce the highlight, or maybe you want to increase the contrast. Whatever you're trying to do, let's just add a highlight. Perhaps you want to maybe reduce the highlight here. So you could play with this however you want, but the color now comes alive once you do that, just by using OneNote. Also, I have another way that will work for me as well. All right, so I'm going to remove this right here. And I'm going to remove this right here. So this is the one I already had already. So I'm going to connect this, and I'm going to connect this. So obviously this is back to the flat footage that we had from the iPhone. In this case, I'm going to use two nodes that has color space transform. You could look at the first one as color space transform in, and the other as color space transform out. And one is before order node, and one is at the end of order node. That's how I put it. Okay, so let's go here, and I'm going to put them on. All right, so I'm going to put them on, and as you can see, this one is a bit more richer, and I found this to just look just a little bit better than the first one. The first one is still good because you could add other nodes to make it look better. So with this one, when you add the color space transform, we are using Rec 2020 here as well. But then at the input gamma, we are using gamma 2.4, and the output color space, we are using DaVinci wide gamut, and output gamma, we're using DaVinci intermediate. Without the second one, this is how it's going to look like. Okay, so it's not actually going to look good. Now, when we go to the second one, the input color space becomes DaVinci wide gamut, and the input gamma becomes DaVinci intermediate. And now we are turning all those colors into the output color space to Rec 709, then the output gamma to gamma 2.4. All right. So I found this to look better, just a little bit better. Okay, so obviously you could reduce the highlight. Okay, just reducing the highlight. That's all I did there. Okay, so when I add everything, this is kind of how it turns out. All right, but you don't have to have this kind of look. You could have any kind of look. If you want it to look brighter, it's way up to you. As far as you have those color space transform, you have a lot of options. So this is why iPhone footage grades so well. iPhone doesn't shoot true RAW videos, but Apple Log is the closest thing Apple offers. Subscribe if you want more Resolve and iPhone workflow.